What's up, world? This is
Consciousness Speaks with Onika Whyte
and Andrew Gobind.
Hi guys, it's your girl Onika.
This is your boy Andrew.
And we are Consciousness
Consciousness
Speaks. We are so happy and excited to share this platform with you. Right, Andrew?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this is a long time coming, and we've been talking about doing this forever. And here we are now, and talking about real things that matter to everyone.
Yes, exactly. And what matters right now is the fact that you're going to be spending more time indoors. It's winter, it's cold, and
Yes.
so we want you to start creating a relationship with us so we can start having ongoing dialogue in each and every episode that we decide to create for you. Let's be co-creators of it and start having some awesome experience and conversation.
Yeah, no, it really comes back to being grateful and grateful for all the experiences and the relationships we have.
Yes, we have to be grateful, guys, and understanding that we need to learn how to connect with each other more on a human level and a soul level sometimes, right, Andrew?
Absolutely, and I think the other big thing is we're in a world now that has created so many different avenues to put a facade on, and I think what we want to do on this platform is to reconnect to ourselves on a deeper level.
That's right. A deeper level, guys. Connecting on a deeper level, it's so important. That's when we start finding the beauty in each other, understanding that we're all here enjoying this human experience, and by connecting with each other, we're able to learn from one another. And that's why we've created this platform to connect with each other.
Absolutely, and I think what's happening now in the times we live in, especially with media, social media, it's giving us this space to show everybody, this life that we truly don't live. And then we connect to something. We practice showing everybody this life that we don't live. But who really and truly, when do we get the chance to say what life we do and be satisfied in this space that, is not always comfortable, right?
That's the right. Word. That's right. That's right, Andrew. And understanding that, yes, the media is there, but there's a side of us that we need to embrace, which is that, the downtimes. What do we do within the downtimes? Do we learn how to appreciate ourselves more? Do we accept ourselves more? And knowing that we are okay as we are enough in those moments.
Absolutely, and I think it's so important because we spend so much time on this area of showing the rest of the world, and especially through social media, whether it's Instagram or Facebook, of how great our life is. Yet we put this pressure on ourselves to live up to these standards, but they're not real standards, and it's this fake facade. Now it comes back to us when we're living a real life, when we're having problems at home. Say it might be with your girlfriend or your wife or your kids, right? And now we have to deal with that. And that's the stuff we don't get to talk about. That's the stuff where, we don't have an area or sacred space, so to speak, to say, hey, you know what? I'm having problems over here. Like for me, for example, me and my daughter, she's 14 now, and it's a great age and I love it. However, that little girl is no longer there, and now she's becoming a woman. And so now the things that she loved about me, well, she doesn't like. She doesn't like my corny dad jokes, and she doesn't want me to be around, and she needs her privacy in her space. And it's interesting for me because I'm in a space now where I have to allow that and accept it, and also understand my emotions that's dealing with those things, and look at life differently, because what these relationships do, Onika, and you can vouch for this too, because we talk about it all the time, it gives you the self-reflection.
Yes,
to
it
look
does.
Back into who you are.
Who you are. Beyond all of that, beyond the layers, beyond the facade, who am I truly? Who am I?
Absolutely. And that's a big question to ask, because we have to ask ourselves who we are in this world, and not, this facade that we portray to everybody else, but who we are on a deeper level. When we look at life, when we look at, experiences, when we've gone through things that have changed us or molded us or brought out these emotions in us, who are we through that? Where do we go, and how do we dig deeper to really truly understand ourselves? And I want to ask you, Onika, because we've had these great conversations over the years, and one thing I love about the conversations we have is you always give me this great perspective, this positive side to things. So there might be, you might have a problem within a relationship. And I love how you'll say, well, this is what I've done. I'll wake up in the morning and I'll say these things to myself. These very simple tools. But in the moment, they're so effective. Can you share with our viewers, what exactly do you do?
Well, guys, in the morning when I wake up, I first and foremost have a sense of gratitude and appreciation for the fact that I'm alive to experience another day. I get into my prayer and my meditation, and I just give thanks again, of course. And I have these affirmations that I say within my prayers. I am enough. I love myself. I accept myself for who I am. And within those moments, it keeps me grounded. It keeps me humble. And it keeps me connected when I step out my doors. I know that I'm not competing with anyone. More or less, I am willing to share that feeling of love and positive attitude, in the environment and people I experience around me.
Absolutely, and it's so important in this world we live in, especially when we have, the social media and we have these other avenues that don't give us the space for real expression. The same thing that Onika said is what I like to do. I like to give myself an emotional assessment and say, what am I feeling in this moment? What is troubling me? Why am I going through this? How is it affecting me? And having that open conversation with myself, not only having that, but also having a space that I can talk to somebody else, whether it's my sister, whether it's Onika, like this platform we're talking about right now, the consciousness for you guys, for us to say, hey, I've gone through a life-changing experience, and this is what I've learned from it.
That's right. Because sometimes, really and truly, Andrew, someone may say something, how are you doing? I have this, or we have this fake facade. I'm okay. I'm great. I'm fantastic. But underneath it all, are we truly great? Yes. Are we doing fantastic?
And I think the pressure that we put out there to say that we are doing great, to actually let people, to really hide behind the disguise that we have to show everybody that everything is perfect and everything we're happy about. That in itself can cause so much anxiety and can cause so much pressure within us, because it does the opposite of what we need to do.
Exactly.
Because what we need to do is now be honest with ourselves, take an assessment instead of reacting. We're in a space now that we can reflect, right?
Yes, reflect and connect with ourselves again. And until we start reconnecting to ourselves, then the true healing doesn't start to happen. The true understanding and awareness of who we are will not happen, guys. So start connecting.
And it's so important that we start connecting, because you start listening, and when you start really paying attention to everything happening around you, you understand things aren't just happening, just why is it happening for me? This is exactly what it's supposed to be, and you're meant to be in this moment. And what I love about when we take this mindset and we look at life and really get back to one simple thing, right? And that's being present in the present moment. That's being reconnected to exactly where we are right now.
And right now, in this moment, is connecting with ourselves, loving ourselves more, and appreciating the beautiful creation that we are, guys. And honestly, we want to hear from you guys. We want to hear how you are able to reconnect with who you are, how you are able to make that distinction between what is real and what's not real.
I love how you said that, Onika. Make the distinction what is real and what's not real, because here we are in this world where we're connecting to the social media and we're putting out this fake person, or not to say fake person, but this person we want everybody to see the ideal side of us. But how do we now say, who am I really? How do I reconnect with that person? And I think that's important. And what can I do, really and truly, what can I do to start taking that path and look at life that way?
Exactly. Instead of trying to imitate someone else's image, and start uncovering the beauty in yourself and understanding that we are all created for different purposes. And until we start pretty much connecting with that, then we won't understand how real and how authentic we are.
Absolutely. And I think it's so important that we go into that space. And one of those big things to get into that space is, we look at life, especially when we're in the down times, right? And I think if we look at it from how we portray our life, and if I look at it from a social media standpoint, I want everybody to know all the great things in my life. But I also need to know part of the human experience is all the things that I don't like about myself. all the things that, I might beat myself up and say, hey, I'm not good in this space, I'm not good enough in that space. But to truly understand, when we do that, these are thoughts, and they're only thoughts. And what we need to do is now create an awareness to say, hey, that's not truly my thought. And the key is this, guys, because if we are always connecting with that person that we've portrayed on Facebook and Instagram, we've done the opposite of what we need to do, which is to connect back to ourselves. So it's so important to do that. So when we come across a situation, we're grounded and we know who we truly are.
That's right. And understanding that we are imperfectly perfect. We are here right now. However, we are growing. And through the experiences and through the challenges and through the ups and downs, we're learning and we're evolving into, that perfected self.
And the perfected self is basically, if we can use that word, which I really don't like because of the context of it, but it really is just being okay with who I am in this moment, loving myself in this moment, knowing that nothing around me is going to take away from what I truly deserve, and that is unconditional love.
And that's right, unconditional love. Guys, we are your people, right? We are your community. So we want to hear from you, Andrew and myself. We want to hear from you. We want to hear your stories. We want to hear your challenges. We want to know what you're going through and sharing it from a very authentic place. And that's where we can start healing. Guys, this is Consciousness Speaks. I am super excited, Andrew.
I am super excited because as we go on and we have different subjects and topics and things that we talk about and have real conversation, we're going to dig deeper into what it means to have the human experience and what it means to go through life and overcome, these obstacles and come out on the other end with more growth, right?
And with more understanding.
Yes.
So guys, this is Onika.
And this is Andrew.
And we are Consciousness Speaks. Tune in.
Tune in. One love.
We love you guys. Bye.